Hello guys! Are you ready to continue stitching this sampler? Today I was preparing to stitch with you this beautiful leaf. This is Eucalyptus leaf and I have it already stitched in my another sampler, and this is how it looks if it's stitched using only one color, and this is this number of DMC embroidery threads, and we will be practicing a tucked satin stitch today. This time I decided to play with different colors and I couldn't decide which colors I would like to choose for this sampler, and I decided to go with all of them. So for some leaves I stitched using those two colors. I used those for this and this leaf, and for some leaves I was stitching using those colors. And today we will be stitching this leaf that is left on the top using those two colors. I decided to do this way because I saw on the pictures of the real leaf, and there is some variation of different colors. Some leaves looked like more in the blue, some leaves looked more in the green, and so I decided to do both of them. So they also was different colors in the same branch, and it depends probably how the light reflected on those leaves. And yeah, maybe autumn was coming, so the leaves were changed, so you know, I'm all into autumn this time. So let's start. I'm gonna start stitching from the center of the leaf, and I'm gonna use this lighter color. I use 3 strands of floss and the medium size of the needle. So I make one stitch. You can outline entire leaf if you want using 1 strand of floss. If you are not sure that you can make your edges sharp, you can watch my previous tutorial and see how I did this outlining. I'm stitching today without outlining, and I come up really close to this first leaf on the right side this time, and I make a little shorter stitch. I point my needle into this place, and then I come up really close again on the right side, and I point my needle into the same place where I started. As you can see, this shorter stitch is covered by the next stitch and you don't see where it's finished. We do it by the reason because we have a rounded shape of the leaf, and the stitch's direction should go like this. For this part of the leaf we will use a tucked satin stitch method, and we also will use it for this part as well, until we will get to the point that we can use a regular satin stitch to finish this leaf down to the bottom. So let's continue on the left side. I do a shorter stitch, and then I cover it by the longer one. So this way we avoid putting the needle and the thread in the same time over and over, because this place can be like overloaded and it will create a lot of volume and it will be hard to put the needle in the same place. So to avoid this, you can use a tucked satin stitch method for such shapes of the leaf. You can use this method for the floral elements like flower petals and so on. So I do a few stitches on the left, a few stitches on the right. You can move your previous stitches to the side a little bit and put your needle like a little bit under those stitches, so you will make sure that they are gonna be hidden. And starting from this point, you can move a little bit down right here, like 1 millimeter lower than your first. And also, starting from this point, you can start mixing your thread colors. So now I will be stitching using 2 needles and 2 threaded needles. So I finish this color temporarily and I come up a little bit further than I need to for the next stitch. So I leave the space for 1 stitch right here. And I came up on the top so I can see where my thread is located, and so I will not make any knots on the back side. And I start another color with another needle right here, and I make a shorter stitch on this side and on this side as well. And I come up a little bit further in the place where I will be doing my next stitch with this color. I switch to another thread and I make my next stitch. It's a longer one, and I make 1 more stitch on this side too. See, the part of this color is already showing up on the leaf. I make the same 1 more time. I park my needle on the side. So now I do long stitches using that new color. And it's kind of fun. And another way you can do it, you can stop stitching with, for example, with this light color. You can finish your thread completely and you can start another set of the threads, and you can mix different colors. You can mix, for example, 2 threads from the light and 1 thread from the darker shade, and stitch a small section of the leaf on the left and on the right side. And then you can finish this thread and you can switch to 2 strands of the darker thread and only 1 thread from the previous color. And then you can stitch another section of the leaf. And after this you can switch completely to this only dark color and finish the leaf on the bottom, and it can create this kind of gradient like I just did. This method is good if you don't have any variated threads and you want to create a nice gradient using two colors that you want to use for the sleeve. This way you can switch to one color to another and create soft transitions. And it can be a really fun result. Sometimes you just don't have a medium color between two colors, and you can resolve this issue by mixing those two colors together. Think of it like you are mixing watercolor paint. You can mix 2 or 3 colors together and use those threads at the same time, and you can create a really beautiful autumn leaves. For example, you can take one yellow color, one orange and one red and put them together, and it can turn out in a beautiful maple leaf. Please let me know in the comments below if you already used this trick, or if you first know about this trick from my video tutorial. I would like to hear from you, and I would like to know it, because it inspires me to create new video tutorials and show you something new that I know. And I also like to experiment and try new things, try new materials, and I'm open to your suggestions. If you would like to see something else, something interesting on my YouTube channel, give your suggestions in the comments and maybe I will do it next time. So I think I'm gonna make one more light stitch on the left side, and for the right side it's enough of this color. And right now I'm gonna make the last stitch using the light color right here, and I'm gonna finish the sleeve completely using this darker color. I think if you could mix 2 colors together in this part of the leaf, it could give even softer color transition. We can try it next time someday when I will be stitching some leaves or flowers. So here we go. Let's create a stem for this leaf and complete this branch. I'm gonna use a whipped back stitch, and I continue stitching using the same dark color. First I make just back stitch. You can use a stem stitch if you want. Which tutorial should go next? Please let me know in the comments. I can stitch detached chain stitch, and we can also try a bullion leaf. And now you can finish this stem by mixing this color with the darker shade of this color. Let's see how our stem will look like if we will mix two colors. Thank you so much for joining. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you want to get this pattern, you can get it on Patreon. Also, you can wait a little bit and it will be available on my Etsy shop. There is also a full kit for this project with all 12 sampler pages and most of the threads that you will need, and bunch of other materials that you will use to complete this book. We will make a book out of those pages, and it can create a really nice sampler book with leaf samplers of different embroidery stitches that you can use in your future projects. And it's gonna be a really beautiful book. I can't wait to make it together and see how it turns out and flip through all of those pages that I made. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Give me some likes for this video tutorial and leave your comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!